total picture, but these are things that we're working on.
Okay, let's take a look at the highlights now. UNO goes up to South Dakota and picks up a 21-16 victory. And the weather was perfect, as it is always up at Vermillion.
Oh yes, you know, you get inside there, you know, it's you sort of forget what's even going on if it's afternoon or night or whatever from it. But it is a nice situation.
You said the crowd was down again, though, this year.
I tell you, they had about, I think, a little over 3,000 people there. They're just having, you know, a tough time drawing. You can see on the other side not very many students. First game they had about 2,000. This is Aaron Bachter right here with the opening kickoff. Did a very fine job of returning for us in this game.
Check goes back to pass now, and he has a completion over the middle.
Right, that is Scott Burrish there. Our tight ends caught 4 passes this game for us between them, and came up with some very big catches when we needed.
Now we go to the defense, South Dakota's ball.
I tell you, this one right here is, I guess, you know, in the past we've always talked about those third and longs, and they pulled one off at the start, and we just had a mix-up in our coverage. But Rich Luter comes through here and makes a big sack for us, and Rich has played very well the last 2 ball games.
And then they come back and get another big pass completion here, a 24-yard one on 3rd and 21.
Right, you know, this guy threw it, and again, they came out in a trip set, and we just didn't see it, and we, you know, this is the kind of formations we've been seeing for the last 2 weeks. So we held them right there, and they had to come in and kick a field goal, and they have an excellent kicker. This guy's got range up around 50 yards, so you can't let him drive the ball, and we just gave him a couple first downs there we shouldn't do.
You see that every once in a while, whether it's a lack of concentration in what 3rd and long, and the other team, when you make it, it's fine. When the other team does it, it gets you angry.
Right. Paul Check right here. Paul Check scrambles a little bit right here and fumbles, and again, we set him up in excellent position here. From it, I thought our defense came on and played very well at this point, and we played tough, but they did get it in and score, and we just had a couple lapses on this drive also.
So the score is now 10-0, South Dakota, and you're midway through little bit past midway through the first quarter of play, and things aren't looking too good. You need something big to happen, something good to happen to you right now.
Right. You know, I guess it was a feeling, staying on the sidelines, I really didn't think that they could drive the ball and score. I really felt that we were still in the game. We just needed to be patient and keep things going. This is Aaron Bachter again. Breaks a big kickoff return here. He's run down by a boy named Billy Sherrod from Omaha Central here also. But Aaron had a very fine game for us, and shows that we got a couple very good return people back there.
He's got some nice speed. I hadn't seen that much speed. He does a lot of inside running too for you out of I-back.
Right. He's a tough kid. We're trying to use him a little bit more as a receiver also.
So the first quarter ends 10-0 South Dakota. Second quarter action now.
Right. This is a nice pass over to the middle right here to Jeff Jennings, one of our tight ends, and I thought Paul threw the ball very well. Matter of fact, a couple drops, and then he throws for a very good percentage. It's a little deeper pass right here now to Chris Crutchfield over the middle. They seem to have problems early covering our backside post patterns, but we needed a big play right there from Chris, and he runs a nice pattern, makes a nice catch, and gets us out of the hole.
Chris got the start, I believe.
Yes, he did. He's been doing a good job for us, and we have several good wide receivers, and we just got to hopefully get the right ones in there. This is Victor Barnes, run a little curl pattern right there, makes a nice catch from it. Our offense is moving the ball now. From it, this is the kind of things, you know, that we're really looking for. This is Scott Burrish again, another tight end, a great catch. I think he had a nice picture in the paper of that one, looking it in all the way into his hands. And
those receivers love those throws above their head where they got to reach for them, don't they?
Right. Touchdown here by Crutchfield. They had a corner that was sort of short, and Chris is about 6'3", and we threw a fade pattern. He made a real nice catch there right along the sideline for our first touchdown.
So UNO gets on the board. The point after is good. South Dakota still leads, though, 10-7. About 4 minutes into the second quarter of play. We skipped we do have a defensive play here on the ensuing drive for South Dakota.
Right here, Rick Rowe, a freshman outside linebacker for us, comes in, makes a real nice play on Tumbleson, the running back. And I tell you, Rick played real hard for us, and he's going to be a good ball player. Still very young. We ran the same pattern again with our other wide receiver in there right now, William Thomas. Makes a nice catch on the same post pattern down in there. And again, we're moving the ball. You know, I think we're starting to do things very good. we got to a situation here, and they came up with a big interception down near their goal line right there, and it was just a situation where we maybe didn't make the throw that the coverage dictated on that one, but they came up with a big play right there. We run a blitz right here. Kirk Coleman gets right in the face of the QB there, forces a fumble, and Darren Curtis comes up with the recovery. And, this is a time we needed some big plays right in here.
Darren was the young man we talked to last week, previous to the game, talking about what kind of intensity you guys were going to need to win this ball.
And I'll tell you, Darren definitely plays hard. Here's Paul again on a scramble back there, and he gets the ball knocked out of his hands, and we have a fumble. We lose some field position right there. Recovery was by Alex McCoy. We throw it out to Victor Barnes here, a real nice throw. I felt at this time that we still had a chance to get it down there and get some points.
Come right back to Thomas here.
Right, William makes a nice catch on it. Paul's throwing the ball very well. I think our receivers are running a little bit better disciplined pass routes, but we get down there and we just don't convert into any points. So we go in, halftime, it's still 10-7.
What did you talk to him about at halftime in the locker room?
Well, just the fact that, this is a North Central Conference game that we're in right now, and I felt that intensity levels, we didn't maintain that high level all the time out there. I felt defensively, just like I said, that I don't think they could score on us unless we did something more of a mental type breakdown than physical. I just felt that we were better than their offense. Offensively, we had to continue to, we have to take advantage of chances that we get. We've got to put some drives together and maybe just be a little bit tougher sometimes in there. I felt that we maybe got intimidated up front just a little bit. Something
like that might work in your advantage, though, in the future weeks, having very low rushing yardage and making it look like a real defensive struggle. People might overlook your offense a little bit in the next couple of weeks.
Well, again, I'm sure they feel, looking at right now, that we've only had a couple drives so far this season, that we've really put it together. We've hit people for big plays and things like this. The thing that bothers me from that is that I don't think you can sit back and always wait for big plays. Mm-hmm. We've got to be able to string some things together and stay away from some costly penalties. We had a couple where we ended up 1st and 15 again and things like this. This is our tough things, especially when we're rather inexperienced and young up front. These are tough things to overcome.
You'd love to see about 7 or 8 real 80-yard grind-out drives against Morningside this coming Saturday.
Well, I'll tell you, with the offense they have, hopefully we can keep it away from them for a while.
Got to control the ball against Morningside. We'll talk about that a little bit in a little bit. Right. Let's take a look now, though, at the second half highlights. UNO comes out remarkably still trailing 10-7 as they were when they went into the locker room. They ought to have something at halftime you can get a get a few points for,
Right. Maybe a nice speech, something like that.
Better speeches gets 2 points or something.
We started off kicking right away, and I tell you, we had problems containing these people all day. We just didn't do a very good job, I didn't think, on our kickoff coverage. We start out right away, though, and Tumbleton's running here, and I believe Kirk Coleman gets in there and makes that play. And, the defense, again, I thought had excellent intensity for the entire game. They did a nice job on this. There's Coleman and Sibley making a play right there. Both those guys played real well. I think they had like 12 and 15 tackles in the game, but that's their job.
They're supposed to have a lot of tackles, right. And they did.
There's Coleman again making the play on a counter play. I thought they did an excellent job of reading, and our people up front played very solid. I think this is a crucial one right here, a 51-yard field goal attempt that we come through, and I believe Kerry Newman got a hand on this one, and the kick was short. I thought the guy definitely had the range to make it. So that's a big play. Again, we came up with another thing that we had to get done. Make a throw right here. I believe this is on a 3rd down play, and we don't make the catch. These are things that we've got to start doing to keep drives going.
Here's one that almost broke your back.
I tell you, this one, I guess I'm sitting there. I didn't think they could score on us, and we don't keep very good relationship on our punt coverage there, and the return man, Johnson, pops it up the middle and takes it in for a score.
You got to stay in those lanes.
Yes, you do. And this is a tough thing because we had made a couple tackles earlier by getting out of the lane. Here's a big play. They get a high snap. We come in here and we block the extra point attempt. So now it's 16-7. Really, we're still not out of the game from this. I felt we moved the ball well enough the first half to put a couple more touchdowns up. We just got to get things going.
As if that wasn't bad enough, you come back here and get the pass picked off. You had to be feeling pretty low about this time.
Well, again, you know, we had it picked off. I guess I wasn't totally down. I felt that we could score quickly on these people. And again, I just didn't feel that they could drive the ball down and score on us. And I feel the defense hopefully can give you an opportunity to win some games. And again, you can see by this play right here, you know, we've been playing very solidly up inside all the time. Dan Sellen right here makes a great interception on this play, and these are the kind of things that you know, defensively we got to continue to do, and offensively we got to get some momentum out of this. Now, along with this play, we had two guys drop back, block their quarterback, and they called us for a personal foul. So we make a great play, and we still get penalized on this. We hit Crutchfield again right over the center, makes a nice play. We're moving right back. Again, it was a warm day in the dome. Tempers flare, I guess, once in a while.
Just once in a while.
Get a real nice punt down here to the 15-yard line. Greg Childs has been doing a very fine job of punting for us. They come up here, just lose a handle on the ball, and Mark Mattingly comes up with the recovery. So we got excellent field position again, you know, with the chance to put some points on the board. Paul starts scrambling on this one now, and we throw the ball up, and Victor Barnes comes up with the catch.
Big catch by him.
I tell you, this is a big play for us. I guess the thing that always bothers me, I hope we don't look for scrambles and broken plays all the time. This is a tremendous catch here by Chris again in the end zone. We went back to that same fade pattern. He makes a one-handed catch, just barely inbounds on this, and you know, this is what we needed right away at this time. Here's another look at this. You can see it. He makes a one-handed catch. I'd say probably using the right hand to push off on the guy, but it was a great catch, and they put him right into the wall. See, playing up there is sort of like playing arena football.
Yeah.
Everything is really close, especially the stands on the far side. Tony Marino comes in, converts the extra point, and we're right back in the ballgame.
You had to feel pretty good now, 16-14.
This is where we have the sort of the controversial one.
Let's watch this one. This is a big play.
You can see it pretty well on this camera. The tape we have of the game, it was hard to see it, but it goes off of one of their ball players. The momentum is still with the kick, and at the 1-yard line, the guy picks up the ball, or inside the one. You can see the official threw his little bag out there to mark where he picked the ball up. Well, the rule is if you gain possession of the ball and your momentum carries you into the end zone and you were inside the 5-yard line, it's placed at where you gained possession. So they had the ball, you know, on the 1-yard line there. They moved it out a little bit, punted. We make a great throw here. I don't know if it was a great throw, it was a great catch. Jeff Jennings just takes it away from a defender. It looked like an interception. We're thinking now if we can get down and kick a field goal, we run a reverse to Aaron Vactor. He gets the ball stripped, and they recover the ball. It just seems like the other night or one of these nights, every time something good happened, we shot ourselves in the foot. But we were just looking for 3 points at that time. Again, they're trying to run the ball out of there. Craig Sikora comes in, plays outside linebacker for us, and makes a great play on this one. They come back with a pass right here on this side, and Rodney Bradley makes a great play, almost intercepts that ball. You know, the kids are starting to make plays that you need to have made in the game. They're battling out there right now. And now we come on this. Look at Mark Priest on the inside here. It opens up. He blocks the punt. Ball spins around, and Rodney Bradley makes a great effort to keep the ball in the end zone and get a touchdown right there.
That's tremendous.
And you know,
you talk about big plays, swinging a ball game.
Well, I tell you, and the kids, you know, you can see that we get a lot of great plays out of it. They're just fighting like crazy. You know, this is what we got to do to play hard. Now we're up 21-16.
But it's not over.
No, it's not.
Not over by any means. South Dakota comes right back with a great drive of its own, starting out with a 35-yard completion here.
I tell you, they throw to
that's a great catch.
Young man right here from it again. I'm not sure where our halfback was. Sometimes you don't know. But this is a 3rd and 1 play here. Darren Curtis stops a dive play. You know, Darren, his motor's running hard all the time, and we needed a big play. Here's 4th and 1. The quarterback sneak it, and we get a good spot on this, and they don't get it. And so the drive is done right there from it. But you know, the kids rose to the occasion. They stopped him when they had to from it. To me, it should be a great confidence builder for our people. But the fact is that I think we've gotten 4 hard quarters out of our kids now in these last games from it. We didn't show it here on our highlights, but I'll tell you a big play was we had ran a 15-yard trap play on 3rd down to get a 1st down at the end. So they didn't get the ball back, and we were able to run out the clock. just some things I think in this game our kids have to be very proud of.
That's what the fans keep complaining about in the stands when it doesn't work, the trap call on 3rd and long.
Right.
Here's some stats for you, and really they're pretty even. If you look at it, 11 first downs to 10, rushes pretty even. Passes, passing yardage, you had about 80 more yards, and total yards about 40 more, but really not that much difference in the two offenses.
Well, again, I think two defenses playing very, very hard, and two offenses that are looking for some identities right now, and we just have to get some consistency from that.
Possession, again, this week, 5 minutes more than you had the ball, and yet you come up with the big plays and win the ball game.
Right, and the kids, this is, I think you got to find ways to win ball games, and this is the key. You can watch it on TV any weekend or on Monday nights or whatever. People find ways to win ball games, and this is what the kids have to understand in these things.
Let's take a look at the scores around the league now. South Dakota State comes up, loses to North Dakota 24-21.
Two excellent teams. Teams I think will be right in the thick of things through it. South Dakota State always amazes me. Sometimes they lose some of the close ones, but they are an excellent program, and North Dakota's been playing very well.
And North Dakota State, ranked number 1 in the nation, beats Mankato State by 2 touchdowns.
Right, and they said at one time Mankato was up 2017. So again, it's going to be a great league this year. I think everybody has to come to play every week.
It was Augustana edging St. Cloud State 23-20. Good close game.
Right, and two teams that were in the playoffs last year from it, both of them coming off disappointing losses the first week, and again, Augustana playing at home, coming up with the win in this game.
How about that next one, Coach?
Again, I wasn't really, I guess, as surprised as some people are. I think people get it in their heads that Morningside does not have a good football team at times. They have some excellent athletes playing at home from it. Northern Colorado, again, has a good team, but I don't think it's not a surprise to me, and I don't think it's a surprise to the coaches in the league.
We'll talk a little bit about Morningside in a couple of minutes. Answer me a question about football in general. You were talking about you don't want to have to rely on big plays to win the ball games. There's a kind of a real good feeling when somebody returns a punt return for you, and there's a kind of an emptiness when the other team does it. How do you establish that kind of consistency that you're looking for, that the kids don't fumble, that they don't make mistakes, and that they take advantage of the other team's mistakes? What quality is that in a football player that makes that happen?
Well, again, sometimes, along there, I think you got to have some people that enjoy playing football, or maybe that hard-nosed type of kid. Like I noticed it the other day is, all of a sudden, Aaron Vactor makes a couple nice returns for us. Victor didn't get his returns. Well, Victor's got to be mentally tough enough now this week to understand that you don't get a big return every week, but if the opportunity's there, you make it. Chris Crutchfield made some nice plays for us this week. Our tight ends did. Now we've got to come back and get some consistency. Every once in a while, you'll bust a tackle and get a big play, but the thing is, can we get that 10 yards or that 12 yards when we need it? And we're trying to set up some situations in practice time to work on these types of things. We set the ball on the 5-yard line and work on scoring. We set the ball up and it's 3rd and 12, pass under pressure, where the defense knows you got to throw the ball, and you better be able to protect for them, and we got to be able to run the routes correctly, and get that 12 yards. And these are the kind of things that we have to have. In that situation, what can we do that we know we can get 12 yards on, or something like that? We don't need 40, we need 12.
Okay. You talked about Chris Crutchfield, what a great game he had, and Dan Sellon, a great interception there to kind of turn the momentum of the ball game around. Sellon is your defensive player of the week, even though he was only in on 5 tackles. That big interception was, I'm sure, a big part of it.
Well, plus, Dan, we actually moved him up to play an outside linebacker in this game against the on-balance set, and he played it extremely well from it. And I think he was one of the key people as far as helping us shut down the running game. But the last 3 weeks, maybe this player of the week this time is sort of a culmination of 3 weeks of, I think, very steady play and a person that's getting better every week.
And your offensive player of the week, Chris Crutchfield. Chris had a great game getting the start, and 73 yards and 4 receptions and 2 touchdowns. An incredible catch there, which will go down in the in the highlight book, I'm sure.
Right, and this is the thing we've been trying to tell Chris on these, is that make some great plays for us. I mean, I think you remember in the first game we were talking about the great play that the defensive back made in the end zone at Wayne State against, that was Chris Crutchfield, who he knocked the ball out of his hand.
That's right.
And, you know, we're telling Chris, you know, when we go up for it, why can't you be the one making it? And so he's, you know, he's moved into a starting role right now. He's worked very hard, and he's going to be definitely a factor for us during the year.
Thanks, Coach. Well, now let's take a look at how one Maverick leads his team on the field while he tells us about being a leader off the field.
Senior inside linebacker Kirk Coleman started off this season the same way he ended last season, as the UNO Defensive Player of the Game. Coleman's leadership on the field led to his selection as a team captain. His leadership off the field as the president of the fraternity Omega Psi Phi has also had its benefits.
I do a lot of traveling, and say I need a friend in another city to help me out as far as a place to stay, or helping as far as a job, like a summer job. It's helped in that aspect too. I mean, it's a great franchise. I mean, you know someone in the business, and if he's your fraternity brother, that even help a little bit more.
The fraternity participates in a wide variety of activities, including some in conjunction with chapters from other local universities.
We are citywide. We have other affiliations as far as Creighton, and we include Dana and Lincoln too. We have a lot of leadership meetings. We've done a lot of community projects. We have scholarship programs where we award like $500 scholarships to area high schools, you know, to minority students who are in need of it. Usually on Thanksgiving or any type of real big holiday, we'll go and get a lot of food together and go down and give out food at the Francis House. We'll help out down there. We were in some type of help program where we'd go, that there would be houses that were low-income houses, you know, real beat-up old houses, and we'd help rebuild to make them, you know, look pretty good for families to move into.
To Coleman, the responsibility of leading a fraternity has meant a lot of personal growth.
There's a lot of things that we have to abide by, and a lot of things that goes on, they'll have to talk to me about if we can do, you know, things like if you want to get a committee together to start up something or to have a party here on campus, you know, I have to go over and ask the president of the activities if, you know, we can get something going. Basically everything that, you know, we need to get started, I have to see if it's okay. It's given me a lot of discipline, and it's also enhanced me as far as understanding. I mean, with fraternities, you have to be able to understand another person and not be just so annoyed about another person, because you're going to meet a lot of people that you can't get along with. But through my fraternity and through friendship, I've learned to deal with other people, learned to accept other people's faults, and just be able to coincide with them and just be able to talk with them.
Linebacker Kirk Coleman, a fine young man. And we'll need all the fine young men we can get together this coming Saturday. You're going to play an opponent that maybe people overlooked in the conference, but Morningside has everybody's attention right now.
Right, I think they're rated 16th in the nation this week from it. They're definitely a very good ball team. They're averaging close to 500 yards a game on offense, about 345 yards a game rushing. They're definitely a very good North Central Conference team.
What do they bring to their squad that they didn't have last year? I don't remember them being that tough last year.
I'll tell you, they have some maturity now. In their offensive line, they have 3 seniors in there and some other boys that have had a lot of playing experience. They've got an excellent quarterback playing for them right now, Mark Camise, who is transferred from a Division I school. They got some good speed at their halfbacks and a couple fullbacks that are averaging about 8 yards a carry.
They may be the all-import team.
Well,
all over the country, huh?
Well, I'll tell you, they got them from quite a few places, but, you know, primarily from Iowa, and they do have quite a few kids from Florida, which they've had for the last few years.
You got them at home, and that's a good sign. The game will be played at Caniglia Field. That'll be, they say, a touchdown advantage for you. Let's hope it's true.
Well, I hope it is, too, from it, but we like to play at home, and we seem to play a little bit better at home.
All right. We'll see you next week with the highlights, hopefully, of the UNO victory over Morningside. For head coach Tom Mueller, this is Dave Weber. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next week. Maverick Football 90 is provided in part by Cox Cable Omaha, who, in recognition of the importance of education, is pleased to help support the Knowledge Network of Greater Omaha. Pepperoni's Pizza, serving sandwiches, pizza, pasta, and a fresh salad bar to satisfied customers. Nebraskans for Public Television. and Wimmers of West Point, serving the Midwest since 1934 with quality meat products made right here in Nebraska.
Tonight on Silver Screen Classics, Henry Fonda and an all-star cast are featured in a classic Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday Western. Watch My Darling